The shadow over the sun. The first warning came as a ripple in the skies. At dawn over New York, traffic lights blinked out. Airplanes diverted mid-flight as their navigation systems faltered. Across the globe, power grids stuttered and satellites fell silent, tumbling like broken stars toward the atmosphere. Astronomers at observatories from Chile to Hawaii reported the same impossible reading. Something was disrupting the sun itself. The world called it a solar storm. But Carol Danvers knew better. High above Earth's orbit, Captain Marvel hovered in silence, watching the sun flare in strange, jagged pulses. It wasn't natural. She had flown through a dozen star systems, and stars did not simply waver. This was something feeding, something pulling at the heart of the solar system. "Come on, Flurkin sense tingles aren't wrong," she muttered to herself. The binary energy burning inside her flared as her body instinctively absorbed the sun's radiation. But even she felt it, like a drain, as if something was siphoning her very power source. Her calm crackled to life. "Danvers, you seeing this?" It was Nick Fury, his voice carrying the sharp edge of old battlefields. "We're picking up strange structures orbiting close to the sun. Whatever it is, it ain't human." Carol smirked grimly. "Wasn't planning on blaming NASA, Fury. I'll check it out." She streaked forward, a comet of gold and blue, cutting through the void until she reached the edge of the solar inferno. That's when she saw it, an enormous construct wrapped around the sun's corona like a black halo. Dozens of spires pierced deep into the solar surface, drawing raw light into the structure's core. It pulsed with dark energy, feeding on the star itself. And then she saw him. The figure floated in front of the construct, massive, armored in jagged obsidian plates that shimmered with stolen starlight. His form radiated power, but his eyes burned cold with hunger. "I know you," Carol muttered, her voice low. She didn't know his name, but she knew the type. She'd seen empires strip planets bare, species leech energy from weaker worlds, tyrants declaring themselves gods. She had fought them all. The figure turned, his voice booming across the vacuum, not through sound but through raw telepathic force. "I am Xar'Vel, Supreme Commander of the Voidborn Legion. Your star now belongs to us." Carol raised her fists, glowing. "Funny, I don't recall Earth signing a solar lease." Xar'Vel ignored her quip. "Your people have squandered their gift. You light your cities, power your machines, wage wars under its glow, yet you remain nothing but parasites gnawing at a feast you cannot comprehend. The sun deserves to serve higher purpose, ours." "The sun isn't yours to take," Carol shot back. "And humanity isn't some parasite. They fight. They endure. They build." Xar'Vel's aura pulsed with dark fire. "The Voidborn once believed in endurance. We once believed in building. And we consumed our galaxy until nothing remained. Survival has no patience for sentiment. You will stand aside, or you will be the first to be extinguished." Carol's eyes flared with golden light. "Yeah, see, threatening extinction? Bad first impression." With a burst of speed, she rocketed toward him, slamming into his armored chest with the force of a meteor. The impact shook the spires around them, sending a ripple of unstable energy through the construct. But Xar'Vel barely moved. He raised one gauntlet hand, caught her blast mid-flight, and hurled her back into space. Carol stabilized herself, fury burning in her veins. "Okay, tough guy." Xar'Vel's voice echoed again, colder this time. "You cannot protect this world. Even now, its people tremble in darkness as their machines fail. They will turn on each other soon enough. And when they do, we shall harvest what is left." Her calm buzzed again, Fury's voice cutting in with static. "Carol, we're losing power across half the planet. Hospitals, airports, defense grids. If this keeps up, civilization's gonna collapse." Carol's fists ignited brighter than a star. "Not on my watch." She charged again, weaving between the spires, blasting drones that detached from the construct to intercept her. Each drone absorbed her energy, glowing brighter before exploding. She pushed harder, forcing her way to the core where the siphoning beam met the sun. But Xar'Vel was there, waiting. "You cannot win," he said, voice like a death knell. "Every strike you make fuels us. Every spark you shed strengthens the Voidborn." He unleashed a wave of dark energy that struck her square in the chest, sending her spiraling back toward Earth. The blue and green planet filled her vision as she struggled to regain control. For a moment, she felt the drain again, that pull at her very essence. And then she understood. Xar'Vel wasn't lying. The Voidborn were feeding directly on her energy as well as the sun's. Every time she lit up, she risked making them stronger. As she steadied herself above Earth's atmosphere, Carol clenched her fists. This wasn't just a battle for the sun, it was a battle for humanity's right to exist in the galaxy. She stared back at the black halo tightening around the star, her jaw set. "Okay, Xar'Vel," she whispered. "Let's see what happens when you pick a fight with Captain Marvel." Clash in the heavens. Earth turned below her, blue and fragile against the void. Above, the black halo of the Voidborn construct tightened around the sun, dragging fire from its core like veins being drained of blood. Carol Danvers clenched her fists. This was no time for hesitation. She rocketed upward, a comet streaking into the dark lattice of alien steel and starlight. The closer she got, the more she felt it, the pull, the draining sensation, like something was drinking her power along with the sun's. But if Xar'Vel thought that would scare her off, he didn't know Captain Marvel. Drones swarmed out to meet her, sleek and needle-sharp, their armor absorbing every spark of light she gave off. She blasted one, only to watch it swell with golden energy before detonating like a miniature nova. Carol cursed under her breath. "You're welcome for the boost, tin can." 3 more lunged. She spun, dodged, grabbed one by its wing, and hurled it into another. They collided in a burst of shards. The third latched onto her back, siphoning her binary glow. Her aura flickered. Not happening. She ignited herself fully, forcing her energy to surge outward in a violent pulse. The drone screamed, an alien sound in the void, as it overloaded and burst apart. But she felt it again, that draining tug. For every drone she destroyed, the construct grew brighter, hungrier. She was feeding them even when she won. "Carol." Fury's voice buzzed faintly through her comm, shaky with interference. "We've got chaos down here. Whole nations are in blackout. If you don't shut that thing down, Earth's toast." She breathed through the weight in her chest. "I'm working on it, Fury. Tell Earth to hold on." Then came the shadow. Xar'Vel descended from the construct like a god from his throne, his obsidian armor alive with molten cracks that pulsed to the beat of the sun itself. His presence warped the light around him. Every move carried the weight of centuries. "You persist," his voice thundered across her mind. "But persistence without purpose is futility. Do you not see the truth? We do not conquer out of malice. We conquer because we must." Carol steadied herself, her fists glowing dimly. "You don't have to kill stars to live. That's not survival. That's suicide on repeat." Xar'Vel's helm tilted, as if amused. "You speak of choice. We had choice once. We built, we dreamed, we reached for eternity. And in our arrogance, we consumed it all. Now, survival is the only truth. The Voidborn cannot change. But you, perhaps you can." Carol frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" He extended one massive gauntlet. "Join us. Your power rivals the suns themselves. With you, we could reclaim the cosmos. No world would dare oppose us. Stand aside, and your Earth will live, at least until its star burns out naturally. Stand with us, and you will become eternal." Her laugh was sharp, humorless. "You really think threatening genocide is a good recruitment pitch?" She ignited, her aura blazing like a second star. "Here's my answer." She hurled herself at him, a streak of gold slamming into black steel. The impact rippled across the construct. Xar'Vel countered with a sweeping strike that sent shockwaves through the void. They clashed again and again, their battle lighting up the darkness like fireworks above Earth. Carol's punches crackled with pure solar fury. Xar'Vel absorbed them, his armor glowing brighter with each strike. His gauntlet closed around her arm, and she felt her power siphoned straight into his chest. Her glow dimmed. "Every spark you shed strengthens me," he growled. "You fight in vain." Carol gritted her teeth, blasting him point-blank in the helm to break free. "Then I'll just have to stop holding back." She surged, unleashing a blinding wave of binary fire that tore through drones and split the construct's lattice. For a heartbeat, it looked like she might burn it all away. But Xar'Vel caught her, dragging her through the wreckage, slamming her into the hull. "Do you see it now?" he demanded, pinning her against the alien steel. "Your strength is your weakness. You are fuel, and I will burn you as I burn your star." Carol gasped, forcing herself to focus. The pull was stronger now, her energy bleeding out faster than she could restore it. Her vision blurred, Earth spinning below her. For the first time in years, she felt the edge of exhaustion. But she also saw something else, lights flickering across the dark side of the planet. Even in blackout, humanity resisted. Fires burned where people lit them, signals flashed from battered satellites, and across the oceans, cities still tried to rise against the dark. Humanity wasn't giving up. Neither would she. She tore free, her aura reigniting in a brilliant blaze. "You're right about one thing, Xar'Vel. I am fuel." Her eyes burned white. "And right now, I'm burning for Earth." She drove herself forward, faster than she'd ever dared. The force shattered the alien plating, sending shards spiraling into the void. Xar'Vel staggered, his armor cracked. For the first time, he bled starlight. But his gauntlet caught her again, and with a roar, he hurled her down through the void, down toward Earth's blue glow. Carol spiraled helplessly, flames trailing, her body crashing through the upper atmosphere like a falling star. Heat seared her skin. The world spun in a blur of light and shadow. Her final thought before impact was simple, steady, unyielding. "I will not let them take this world." She struck New York with a thunderous crash, cratering a street in a storm of fire and rubble. Sirens wailed. Civilians screamed. And as Captain Marvel struggled to rise from the wreckage, drones descended like vultures from the sky. The war was not over. It was only beginning. The light of humanity. Smoke billowed from shattered glass towers. Car alarms wailed in unison. The crater where Captain Marvel had struck the streets of New York glowed with molten concrete. Civilians stood frozen on sidewalks, their phones dead, their city's lights extinguished, the night pierced only by fire and fear. Then the drones descended. Dozens of them swooped down, their wings folding like blades, glowing with the same stolen solar energy that powered Xar'Vel's war engine. Their shadows stretched across the city as they circled the crater like vultures around prey. Inside the smoking pit, Carol Danvers stirred. Her body ached, her aura flickered weakly, but her spirit was iron. She pushed broken stone off her chest, coughing. When she looked up, she saw them. People. Ordinary New Yorkers. Firefighters running into smoke. Parents shielding children. Strangers pulling each other from rubble. Despite the blackout, despite the panic, no one ran from her. Instead, they ran toward her. "Captain Marvel!" a firefighter shouted, sliding down into the crater. He extended a hand. "Get up! We've got your back." Carol's heart clenched. These weren't soldiers. These weren't Kree warriors. These were people, humans, standing tall in the face of extinction. "Thanks," she rasped, taking the hand. As he helped her to her feet, a child's voice rang out from the crowd above, "Don't give up." The words cut through her exhaustion like a blade of light. Her binary energy sparked again, golden arcs flickering across her fists. Humanity didn't need her to be invincible. They just needed her to stand. And she would. The drones struck. They swooped in formation, unleashing beams of crackling void fire. Civilians scattered for cover, but Carol surged upward, intercepting the blasts. She caught the energy with her hands, gritted her teeth, and redirected it into the sky. Explosions lit the night like fireworks. "All right," she growled, her eyes burning bright again. Round 3. She shot into the air, colliding with the swarm. One drone split in half under her fist. Another detonated from a burst of energy. But for every drone destroyed, 2 more emerged from the war engine above. And then Xar'Vel descended. The alien commander streaked down from orbit, his jagged armor glowing brighter than ever. He landed in the center of Times Square, his presence warping the ground beneath him. Civilians gasped, retreating, but none dared abandon the heroine who had fallen among them. "Still you rise," Xar'Vel intoned, his voice booming through every mind. "Do you not see futility? Your star bleeds. Your cities choke. Even now, your people tremble in the dark." Carol floated above the crater, her fists glowing hotter. "Funny. From where I'm standing, they look braver than you'll ever be." Xar'Vel extended his arms. The drones paused, hovering like statues. "I offered you eternity. You chose defiance. Very well. Your light will be the first I extinguish, so your world may watch their champion fall." He launched himself at her with the force of a collapsing star. The clash shook skyscrapers. Glass rained down as Carol and Xar'Vel tore through the air, trading blow after blow. His gauntlets drained her every strike, his armor absorbing her energy. But she noticed something. For every second she held him, for every drone she drew away, humanity fought below. Police herded civilians to safety. Firefighters blasted drones with water hoses. Engineers in darkened buildings tried to restore power using backup generators. People were not surrendering. They were resisting. That was the difference. That was humanity. Carol broke free of Xar'Vel's grip, her aura blazing. "You're wrong about Earth," she shouted. "You think we're parasites? We're survivors. And survival means fighting back." She drew upon every ounce of light within her, igniting into full binary form. Her body became a star, brighter than the war engine above, brighter than even the sun through its prison. The glow lit the city like dawn. Civilians gasped in awe, their faces bathed in golden light. Xar'Vel staggered, shielding his eyes. "Impossible." Carol's voice rang out like thunder. "You don't get it, Xar'Vel. My strength doesn't come from me. It comes from them." With a scream of defiance, she shot upward, dragging Xar'Vel into the sky. They broke through the atmosphere, colliding against the black halo of the construct. The alien spires quaked, their siphoning beams flickering. Xar'Vel fought with desperation, his armor cracking under the pressure of her energy. "You will burn yourself out," he roared. "Then I'll burn brighter," Carol yelled. She plunged straight into the siphoning core, dragging Xar'Vel with her. The construct trembled as energy surged in all directions. She poured every drop of binary power she had into the core, overloading it. The sun flared. The siphoning stopped. And with a scream that echoed across the stars, Xar'Vel was consumed, his form shattering into shards of obsidian that scattered into the void. The construct detonated, fragments raining harmlessly into space. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. Then the sun burned steady again, brighter, warmer, alive. Carol floated in orbit, her aura dimmed, her body weary. She looked down at Earth, glowing blue and green beneath her. Fires still burned. Cities still struggled. But they had survived. She re-entered the atmosphere, a gentle streak of light descending over Manhattan. The crowd in Times Square erupted in cheers as she landed, battered but standing tall. Children waved. Adults wept. And for once, she allowed herself to smile. Nick Fury's voice crackled over the comm, clearer now. "Hell of a light show, Danvers." Carol exhaled, still glowing faintly. "Had to remind the universe the sun belongs to Earth." Fury chuckled. "Yeah, well, you reminded me too. Welcome home." She looked at the people gathered around her, the same people Xar'Vel had called parasites. But she saw courage, resilience, and unbreakable will. She raised her voice so all could hear. "The Voidborn thought you were weak. They thought you were nothing but consumers of light. But I've seen the truth. You are the light. And no darkness, no alien, no warlord, no void, can ever put that out." The crowd roared, their cheers echoing across the city. Carol looked to the sky, where the sun shone brighter than ever. Humanity had survived. Humanity had endured. And as long as she lived, she would be there to make sure they always did. For this was more than a victory. This was proof Earth was worth fighting for. Always.